Previously on Critically Stupid.
Bonsoir, subs and Subway sandwiches. My name is Gareth and I play Garion. No, bad. Cut that. God fucking damn it. Good afternoon, subs and sandwiches. I am Gareth, the charismatic, suave rogue of the group. I am here to recap what happened last week before our grand finale here at Critically Stupid, soon to be world famous. Now, if you remember, we started off that episode leading the way with Ranear Neverember, quite entangled, literally. We arrived at Zoblob the merchant's house. If you remember from way back in the day, he was that fella who really liked purple stuff and does not sound like any mouse that you can think of. Now, after talking to Zoblob and him spotting Ranear, he seemed quite perplexed. He took us to the back to discuss the vault and the stone of Galore. And sensing a moment of confusion and weakness, he intended to flashbang the lot of us and then make his getaway. Unfortunately for this small purple asshole, I was wearing sunglasses. So his flashbang had zero effect on me because I'm the fucking best. And that's Garion talking, not Gareth. Anyway, because I'm the fucking best. And after he and Ranear both tried to escape during my companion's moment of blindness, I tackled them both to the ground like some sort of quarterback for a sport that hasn't been invented yet. And then we forced them to bring us to the vault, finally, for real, actually this time. And after we arrive at the vault, which was, dare I say, suspiciously unguarded, we go inside and we are greeted by Grant Clanghammer, who, not only having a great name, is a fantastic dwarf. He seems to be an old man, which is a rarity among dwarves. I have never seen one young or old. They're all middle-aged. I think they just pop out like that. But anyway, after a lovely conversation with Mr. Clanghammer, we got the vague impression that he somehow recognized Ranear, but hasn't seen him since he was but a lad. And as Mel was demanding answers to all of the mystery and questions we've been given across the campaign here, the door opened behind us, and a cold, emotionless voice commanded Ranear to die. And him, being the great soldier he is, followed orders and crumpled to the ground. Unfortunately for the miscreant behind us, we are not nearly as obedient.
Home isn't forever. People say home is where your heart is, but those people also haven't watched their child walk into school without you for the first time, leaving you outside. Home is with the people who love us. Each time they come into our lives, either by fate, fortune, or formula, we break off a small piece of our home to take with them. Home is carried with a dozen or more people, each of whom have the ability to snatch your home from you at the moment's notice. If our home is where our heart is, home is something to be guarded, like a dragon with a hoard, constantly checked after, heavily insured, and protected behind multiple walls. We need to be careful with the people we trust with our home. But is this any way to live a life? Guarded from every person we meet, huddled behind our walls, anxiously scanning over the details of the home we've made for ourselves? Home isn't forever. It's temporary and messy and complicated. Sometimes it's a building, or a group of people, or a place where we can be at peace. Home is 100 sparks of life incandescent into a flame kept burning by each new friend we make.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons & Dragons real-play comedy podcast, Critically Stupid. I am Alexander James. I'm the Dungeon Master, and I am your very well-hydrated boy because I love water. And my favorite part of last episode, though it brings me great indignation to bring up, was the fact that Garion had a piece of what I assumed to be character fluff that did do nothing and was just for flair until the one time it was like I think the most inconvenient for me it's ever been, and that was when he reminded me that he was wearing sunglasses. I hated every moment of it. Garion, why don't you go next?
Hey everybody, my name is Scott Calvin and I play Gareth the Rogue. And my favorite part of episode 1 was when I planned all the way back then for this exact moment of when we would get flashbanged. And I said, just in case, I'm going to give myself sunglasses. Diana, please.
Hi, my name is Diana. I play Mel. I also have the wolf pup, Joshua Patrick, Josh Pat J. Peasy.
I have Constance. Fuck, I'm so sorry. I'm not used to it yet.
Favorite running thing.
Sorry, please continue.
My favorite part of last episode, probably also the sunglasses thing, which, mostly because I don't remember much of anything else. But the Bills just beat Dallas, so I'm coming in a good mood.
That's
Anthony.
huge for us.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Anthony.
You're not wrong.
I'll do it again. Diana, gosh.
What was that episode where Anthony was like, Diana, I'm gonna shake you?
I was
I just want to shake it.
sick and kept. It was the one where I made fun of the guy for not knowing our names, and I kept going because I was sick and real cranky, and Anthony kept trying to go, and I kept interrupting, and
my
I'm
God.
sorry. I'm terribly sorry, and I'm sorry for making fun of the guest not knowing our names.
That was pretty funny, though. Okay. Hey, I'm Anthony. I play Arnold the Bard. My favorite part of last episode was when Josh Pat bit the guy in the leg and we got to use his blood on the vault. That was awesome. That was really cool. I was glad we got to do that. Yeah.
It's the finger gesture that Garion does every time that's truly, truly upsetting. If you're listening on Spotify, first of all, we love you. And second, check out the YouTube, because the finger gesture that Garion makes to elaborate on how he's smearing this man's blood is
If you're an
wild.
audio listener, grow up.
Wow. Cool beans. Okay. For our improv cold open today, I would like to have each of you tell me really quickly about something that happened with your character off camera that we didn't highlight in the show, in the course of the show. This is our last episode of campaign 1. It's our finale. So I would like each of you to just take a second and tell me about something that happened to your character that we just didn't see.
Arnold has been actually painting little pictures of the faces of the people whose voices he steals on that bone pipe. Like every time he takes a voice, he draws like a little picture of the person's face. Because they're not his friends. Like he would normally get a tattoo of his friends. He's drawing basically his enemies on the weapon of his choice.
Wow. That's so fucking cool. Okay. Do you have like a little paint set in your room that you use for it, Arnold, or is it just like?
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like
mostly. I mean,
carved
it started. Yeah, like it started as a disguise kit, but then he realized like he needs to make it permanent, so he started like actually chiseling and coloring. So
That's sick.
Garion, go ahead.
So Gareth has been breaking in to ALB back and
love it.
substituting about 40% of their revenue with like fake gold, like lead stamped gold fakes.
Nice.
Okay, where'd you get him?
Gareth knows a guy.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like that's rogue enough, like black market fellow.
Yeah, I mean, Okay, we'll circle back to that because like a couple of fake coins is rogue enough. 40% of a business's revenue is a lot of lead coins.
Well, they're a punk ass tavern who barely make anything, so
Oh, that's a good point. They only make like $8 a day. So
exactly.
all right,
'Cause
Diana.
all the real money is coming in to Troll Skull. Well, it was.
It was.
Mel and Josh Pat have been trying to find out more about Josh Pat's origins, actually. Just little side quests that she hasn't told anybody about, because she can speak with animals. So sometimes she'll touch base with JPZ to try and figure out who his mom and dad are, because maybe Josh Pat wants to. I mean, I'm his mom, obviously, but
Obviously.
like, who are his puppy mom and dad? Does he have one? These are all questions that he has. And she's also been teaching him fun other little tricks. Play dead and do that circle thing. And you know how like border collies run entire.
Yes.
It's like that. She's been teaching him that in addition to
How's it
Will's
going?
for his origins. Oh, he's a very good boy. He's a very smart boy. He loves to do the things and get turkey legs at the end.
Super quick side note, Constance has been flipping through his magic book just to see what kind of hat options he has.
Uh-huh. I love the fact that Garion forgets multiple times in an episode that he has a cat until Diana talks about Josh Pat. And every time she does, Garion's like, hey, let me talk about Constance real quick because I just remembered about him.
Dude, sorry, I've had Constance for maybe 3 episodes.
That's true.
Josh Pat has been an essential part of the crew. All right. It's
That's
like when you're watching a new TV show and a new character comes on and you're like, who's this guy? And it takes a bit.
Yeah, true. I can't wait
Josh
until
Pat
we.
Go ahead, sorry.
I can't wait until maybe it's campaign 2 or whatever we got going on, but like we have to figure out a cute carrying capacity for Constance that's not just like tucked into the, or maybe it is tucked into the back of your hood, but like I'm seeing like a
I
piece
like
of
it in the front shirt pocket. I don't know.
front, like a breast pocket, just like a little cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What about when he grows?
He won't do that.
He's a pygmy cat. First of his kind.
Well, he'll just be a kitten forever because this is Fantasyland.
I really like
It's
that.
an effect
too.
of the like curse or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
What if he has little
He's
boots?
magic. He's a magic cat.
What if he has boots that have like a bag of holding in the side, like a little pocket, like bag of holding in the side?
Oh, actually, or alternatively, the pocket itself has been cast with bag of holding, so
yeah.
he can grow in
Just
it like
at any-
balls.
That'd be cool.
I just thought of a cat wearing like hunter rain boots, just sort of like
that's what I was
paddling
thinking,
around,
too.
and I was like, that's
Well, no,
so
he needs to
fucking
have
cool.
he needs to have his paws so he can flip through the pages of his book. Please.
Of course. Sorry, my bad. Well, really quick.
Josh Pat definitely wears rain boots because he doesn't like getting wet. So
This is known. We've got episodes to back that up.
right, and it's super cute. He's got little
Garion,
galoshes.
before we dive into the vault and the epic crescendo of our campaign 1, what hat is Constance wearing right now?
Right now he's wearing a ski mask because he knows we're breaking into a vault and it's very important to keep his identity hidden.
Okay, so we've
It
got
started as a beanie, but he like pulled it down. So
okay,
like,
so we've got Arnold, Mel, Josh, Pat, Gareth, and half of Run the
a
Jewels.
mystery cat. And then who knows who's in Gareth's pocket?
Okay. You hear a rushed command from the door of the vault, and Ranear Neverember crumples into a heap on the floor. And you turn to see a familiar red-headed figure walk into the vault of Waterdeep and say, "What's up, guys? It's me, Floon."
Oh
Bet
my
you
god, who could have seen this coming?
never saw this coming, bro.
I'm like, Rainier, you sound so different.
Hey, it's not me. It's not Rainier. It's me, Floon. What's up,
Okay, but-
guys?
Floon.
Yeah.
Who's manning the bar, Floon? It's your shift, Floon.
It burned
Bro,
down.
Gareth, I don't know how to tell you this. Bro.
Floon, did you burn the bar down, Floon?
The bar done burned down. And he reaches into, he's wearing a sort of like a dark cloak, very similar to the one Rainier Neverember is wearing. And he pulls out a steel and a stone and sort of like drops them on the ground and says like, bro, Gareth, Someone burn that bar down, bro.
Floon.
Did
Gareth
you
is,
at
like,
least mail
wagging
the
his finger at
insurance
him.
check?
Now, everybody knows that Fluent is super up to date on all those financial insurance ins and outs. Obviously, I filled out Form 31C triplicate, filed it with the insurance company, and then I fucking mailed that shit with a stamp and everything. That's a
Floon.
joke. I didn't do none of that shit. What's up, guys? I mean, you obviously might have questions because, like, I've been playing a little loosey goosey, little floony buffoonery. You know what I mean? So, like,
Mel
Sounds
shoots
right.
him. I'm just kidding, but he's annoying.
yeah, he really is.
Fact.
I mean, like, oh, God.
He was way cooler when he was just like the stoned bartender.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
now-
think Mel would go check on Rainier to see if he's dead, or like just a little dead.
Roll me a medicine check, please, Mel. Arnold, what are you doing while Mel like shoots for
okay.
a pulse?
While she's doing that, Arnold is stretching after the very long rest that he took on the way
The
here.
longest rest
The longest
ever.
rest we've ever. Okay,
It's
so I would
insane
like to-
how long we rested.
I would like to say, like, we were outside of this place for a long time. Imagine how long we were outside of. Not only we were outside,
And
of this-
also when we were talking to
For a long
this
time.
guy, we were like,
yeah, we were all. I was relaxing.
I must have missed the part last episode where you guys hung hammocks and took a
did.
6 hour.
we popped out lawn chairs. For,
Exactly.
like the big beach ones, so we could really lie out and stretch our legs.
If you
Okay.
recall, as they were talking about the blood and what, like, who it belonged to and the family, and, like, Rainier was going through all that, Arnold was asleep the whole time. If you notice, he did nothing because he was sleeping.
Because he was sleeping. All right, we'll go ahead and say that we've had a long rest so that you guys can jump into the finale with all of your spells and abilities.
What a
Diana.
great idea.
I
zero
rolled a
to it.
17.
Your medicine skill is +0. So you
Bummer.
do you go for the neck, Mel? You just go for the big pulse.
I feel like yes.
okay. There is no pulse. This boy dead as hell.
Bum bum.
I mean,
He does have one eye open though, and his face is frozen, sort of like in an expression of surprise.
really, like CPR not a thing in fantasy world.
CPR is a thing, but if he's dead, well, I guess if you could, like,
What do you
restart his
think?
heart.
I was gonna say, what do you think we do CPR on live people?
I mean, I was thinking of people who were like
They would
like
protest.
drowned.
You
If
like
there was
break
like
their
water in their
ribs.
lungs.
Not a good time for them. Or for
Hey, listen, all
us.
right, neither of us
Fully
are
like that
nurses, okay?
crack.
We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, but only one of us is like fighting her about it.
This is like the time when we had the cast of Don't Make It Weird on, and I had fully no idea that
my
Dina
God.
was like a hand sign.
That was funny as that.
I was like, oh yeah, well then you do it, and then.
Okay, Mel, this guy is dead as hell.
Right.
Anthony, what are you doing now that you have all of your abilities?
Okay. So I mean, I would probably care about Rainier at this point too, because he just suddenly died. So I would, but I would see that he's dead. There's clearly nothing. I don't have any healing spells at the moment. So can I tell that he's just completely dead and, like, he can't be resuscitated?
Mel, do you tell
can I say,
Arnold?
like,
Like,
is he-
let's.
Well, I honestly think that if I didn't get a pulse in a fantasy, like CPR is not a thing, I'd probably turn to Floon and be like, is there a reason why you killed him?
Ah,
Is Floon by himself?
Floon is by himself, solo.
Okay.
You can actually see a little bit of hallway behind him and the stairs that you guys took to come down, empty.
How does the Vault Guardian react to this?
The Vault Guardian sort of taps his staff against the cobbled floor of this vault. If you'll remember, there are 4 alcoves punched into the walls of this vault, overflowing with gold boobies. It is an ocean of liquid
Yes.
cash in this room.
So many titties. So
And-
many. Boing! It is insane.
There is also a basketball-sized pile of like raw gemstones at this figure's feet. He taps his staff against the floor and says, "Well, it's been quite some time, young master. I didn't expect to see you ever again. I'd hoped I'd never lay eyes on you, to be fair. And Floon says, bro, Arnold, you know it's me. So listen,
While
that
he's
guy.
while he's talking, can I try to roll for a sleight of hands and throw my dagger at him without him noticing?
You can roll it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be totally H with you. That is a very high DC that you're going to need to hit to make that happen. But I love it.
All right, I'm throwing the magic dagger to clarify.
I know. Yeah. I'm going to keep talking because I want to finish I want to answer Arnold's question before we do your thing. But I want you to roll it and then tell me later.
Okay, cool.
Floon says, I mean, bro, Arnold, listen. You know as well as I do that dude had to die. He was insufferable, man. You hated him, right? Right? Like, come on. Look me in my eyeballs and tell me that Ranear Neverember did one fucking thing for you.
He did a bunch of stuff for us, actually. I wasn't a huge fan of him, but I learned a lot about you recently, Floon. Is it true that you've murdered puppies?
Give me an insight check, please, Arnold.
Got it.
Like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
Gareth,
I like to think that Josh Pad's doing like a snarl, low growl at him because he's bit him before. Josh Pad
for
doesn't
sure.
care for him.
Yeah, I don't need to ask how Josh Pat feels about this one. Josh Pat, you know how Josh Pat feels about this one.
I got a 23.
Woof. Okay. There's a moment, Arnold, where I think you catch Floon sort of between two sentences, and you ask your question right in that dead space where he's not expecting it. And for a split second, his whole face goes entirely blank, like wiped of every emotion, and he's just staring at you. And then not even a split second later, that grin is right back to his face, and he says, "What are you talking about, bro? No. Killed puppies? Never. This little guy and I love each other. Hey, come here, doggo." And he holds out a hand to Josh Pat. Mel, how does Josh Pat react?
I think Mel's the only thing holding him back. Like he definitely
Like
wants
literally.
to go for him.
Nice.
I mean,
Hell
he
yeah.
listens to her, but like he's definitely ready to spring. And I hope Floon sees that like I'm the only thing holding him back, and anytime I stop, like Josh Pad's gonna go after him and tear him to shreds. Also, I see Floon dissociates too.
Everybody dissociates a little bit, bestie. It's not just you. So
The nicest thing you've ever said.
Floon sees that you're holding back Josh Pat, and I think there's like a flicker of wariness in his eyes, but he maintains his cool, calm, and collected composure, slowly draws his hand back. Gareth, what'd you get on that roll?
So do I add my normal to hit bonus or just the sleight of hand?
No, it's just a sleight of hand because I'm seeing it as like it's all about the throw, so he doesn't
Okay.
see it.
I rolled a 14 plus 9 is 23.
23. Is your intent to wound, or is your intent to get the knife close to him?
I'd say just to get it close to him. Maybe I'd say it would be with intent to wound him enough that he thinks that that's the intent, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you're playing a couple of different games with this throw.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that a lot, actually. With a 23, he doesn't notice you like curl it, but he notices it just as it leaves your hand.
Okay.
And he's pretty quick on the uptake, and he fully takes a step aside so that it misses him. However, your knife is like, there's teleporting magic associated with this dagger, so you could move to it as it is in motion, should you want to.
I think just having it like, I imagine it like pierces into the ground dramatically at his like feet, like stuck in the ground.
We could say that for sure. Yeah.
Because I don't know if starting combat right now is the move, but perhaps more like very soon.
Let's say this. Let's say it's a really good throw. He sidesteps it, but it hisses through the air and neatly embeds itself in one of these torches, ringing the room in a circle, and it splits it with a loud crack of shattered wood. And it's
Okay.
perhaps like 10, 15 feet behind him. And Floon looks at you and goes, "Whoa, bro, Gareth, what's that about, man? Come on. I thought we were tight. I thought we were bros."
That was like such a weird muscle spasm. It must have been like the same thing when you like burned down our tavern.
Well,
Just like you accidentally set fire to the thing that we built and loved and cherished, and I accidentally tried to put a hole in your skull. It
no,
happens.
listen, bro, Gareth, like I know that if you wanted to kill me, I'd be dead. Just like I know that lady right there, the mean one, if she wanted to kill me, I'd be dead. But guess what, bro? Much like that guy from that song, I'm still standing. So like you guys want to keep me alive. And listen. Listen.
I'm listening, you ginger freak. You fucking freak.
I burned down the bar because I knew you guys were hot on the trail of this vault. I knew you guys had solved it. You cracked the case. I'd heard about you like whispering about it, and like I had a suspicion that you guys were on the case of this vault, and so you were going to have the means to burn down the bar and build it back better than ever with your boy FLOON as the head bartender. That's right.
I mean this so delicately. You are not leaving this vault.
Wait, can I tell at the very least if he thinks he's telling the truth? Like, does he believe what he's saying, or is this obviously like?
Give me another insight check, Arnold.
All right, thank you. Oh shit, I got the same thing. Yeah. Oh, it's 21 this time. 21.
21. He is full of shit.
Okay.
This is a pretty thin veneer that this guy is feeding you, but it's curious, Arnold, because you've hung around with Floon a lot. You know this dude's mannerisms. This is the first time, I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to make assumptions on your character, but this is the first time that you are being allowed to see how thin the veneer is, if that makes sense. There are times where you've interacted with Floon where it felt perfectly natural that he was this sort of like vapid, airheaded, friendly bartender, but this is the first time that you've really like seen him lift that veil to an intentional thinness.
Right. Oof. Okay.
And Gareth, actually behind you, you hear a dryly amused chuckle as Grant Klanghammer says, I must admit, it's a little bit funny that both times you have found yourself in this space, young master, and he is addressing Floon with this. It has ended with a threat on your life. You would think that you would learn from your mistakes, but some men are destined to be fools, I suspect.
Owned.
So can I ask, because I don't remember if I know this. So I'm going to ask Grant. He's like, who was the last person who threatened his life?
Well, it's the very man lying at his feet.
Bum.
Would you like to elucidate your scenario, young master, or would you like me to? Because as the warden of this enclave, I have a certain amount of power that I could use to tell your story, or perhaps you could tell it yourself for once. You could own the man that you would like to be instead of pretending to be him.
I don't care who tells the story, but someone had better start telling it, because before we all took that very long nap, I had a lot of questions and I would like them all answered now.
They were being demanded, if I remember.
Yes.
I do, yeah. Dianna like broke the table and was like, please explain what is happening to me.
Confused.
I get it. Okay. Let me think about the best way to do this. Okay. Floon says his grin falters at the corners, but his eyes never break from Grant Klanghammer's bemused face. If you remember, Grant Klanghammer is a dwarf. He has bits of raw lumps of gold and gems like twined into his reddish gold beard. He appears to be no more than mildly put out by your appearance. If you remember, the first thing he offered was that, or the first thing he said when you guys showed up in the vault was he would have cleaned up if he knew he was going to have company. So Floon's smile falters at the edges and he says, wow, what? Hey, man, like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then that staff slams on the floor again. And suddenly Floon's voice is cut like it was cut with a pair of scissors. And he continues to move his mouth, but no sound comes out. And Grant Klanghammer says, it appears that you have not the entire picture. Perhaps I can paint a small part of it for you.
Or a big part. Just paint the whole picture, actually.
Suddenly, you guys aren't in the vault. You are in an elaborate mansion with expensive paintings on the walls, and you're in a bedroom with expensive clothes and a huge bed against one wall and a commanding view of the city of Waterdeep. And you are looking at two.
Gareth sits down in a nice, comfy chair. I imagine there is one.
There's a nice, comfy chair that materializes under your falling form, almost as if to catch you.
Outstanding.
You are looking at two boys standing in this bedroom. One of them is dressed in finery that is clearly cut for him. Very expensive clothes and shoes. He's holding a bag that is holding like school books, clearly about to attend Waterdeep's finest private school. And the other is wearing cast-offs, rags with holes in them, a pillowcase with a head and two armholes, sort of Dobby style. You get it. And
boo, poor, boo.
Boo, J.K. Rowling, boo.
Boo! And these boys are arguing silently. You can't quite make out their voices. It's almost like they're arguing from a long hallway far away from you, even though this is happening like a couple feet in front of you. And the kid in the rags grabs this bag of books and grabs a book as if he's going to take it from him. And the other boy, they both have fiery red hair, but the other boy throws this bag down and slaps this kid across his face as hard as he can. Great Foley work, Garion. God damn. It's almost like we're in the room. And then standing over this younger, smaller kid takes this book back and puts it in his bookcase. And then that room vanishes, and then you're standing in a study. There's a wall to floor
Books.
Wall to floor. There are wall to floor books. They're
Big, huge fucking books. They go from the wall to the floor. It's insane.
It's just one
how
book.
big these fucking books are.
There's
Just
one massive, 9 foot tall book. And carved into this 9 foot tall book is a desk, behind which is a shrouded faced figure, clearly a father type whose face we can't see.
Is there also a Christmas tree?
There is also a Christmas tree. It's very festive. There's a fireplace that's crackling, and there would be art on the walls as well if it wasn't for this one massive book that exists in this room.
They can't put the painting on it because they open it to read it, obviously.
It's clearly
it's their favorite book. That's why it's so big.
Wait, what book is it, Garion?
Wow, I'm glad I didn't say that one out loud. You know
bud?
the one.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Please elaborate.
Yeah, no, you know the one.
All right, so they're sitting in front of and
There it is. He knew it. He knew the one. I
Of
said
all
you know the
times.
one, and he did.
Of all times.
You think I'm the weird one? Nope. Now the blame is divided. Thanks for shouldering this burden with me, Alex.
there is a 9 foot tall book of sums and a figure behind a desk shrouded sitting in front of two boys that are about teenagers. And on the desk is a broken vase, very clearly expensive, inlaid with gold. And the larger, finer dressed of the two boys is pointing at the smaller one and arguing and shouting. And he's got a finger pointed. And the smaller one is trying valiantly to interject and come to his own defense. But the shrouded figure sitting behind the desk like shakes his head and makes like a are you doing like a whole ass pantomime? This is an audio program, Garion.
Or
It's a
some.
little treat for our YouTube
There
viewers.
you go.
He banishes the younger, smaller one out of his office, and he slinks away with his two big socks and his pants held up by a stretch of dirty rope. And then you see the larger of the two boys put his hands behind his back, and his hands glint with gold shards from the vase that he clearly broke himself. And the last image that you see is the room that you're in. It's a little nicer. It's a little cleaner. There's not as much soot on the walls. The gold is stacked in neat, orderly cases. And there are two boys. They're younger again. They're probably 9 or 8, if you had to guess. Brilliant flaming red hair, standing behind a shrouded figure who is probably counting coins or doing some sort of like official business. But the boys are bickering about something, and the fight is turning nasty. It's going from the sort of like amiable jokes and teasing, and suddenly a word turns too sharp, and then they're suddenly screaming at each other. And then one of the boys reaches into one of these cases and picks up a handful of gold coins and hurls it at the other. And there's an explosion of chiming noise and blood misting into the air. And then the boy like grabs his face and falls, and they start fighting over this gold, and the memory dissolves in a blurred mess. And suddenly you're standing in the same vault that you entered, sooty. The gold is in piles, and Grant Klanghammer is standing in front of you. And he says, "I'm so glad that you were paying attention to that masterful story that was woven in front of you, and not at all aping or japing around and making a bunch of jokes and sort of ignoring what was happening in front of you. I'm so terribly, terribly
we get
grateful."
to the point where we want.
Arnold looks up and he goes, "Okay, I'm ready. Like, tell us the story."
Sorry, I had my AirPods in. Now I'm ready.
Oh my god! Wait, what? You guys were talking to
Sorry,
me?
what was that?
I was singing a song. I'm sorry.
You turn back, and Floon is pale-faced and trembling with rage. He's clearly furious, and he looks at you, and there's one last attempt. He goes, "Hey guys, like, I mean, we're friends, right? Arnold, bro, Arnold, you're gonna look at me, Floon? We're
Floon.
friends, right?
When you've drugged us, you've lied to us a lot.
By accident.
See, I'd like to imagine in that magical story that I totally paid attention to the entire time, that you were somehow the good one who wasn't, sabotaging the other one. But why, if that were the case, would you lie to us? Why would you set our bar on fire? And I still don't understand your intention there. I don't know why you did that. Why would you set our bar on fire at all?
While he's thinking about it, I think Gareth is gonna teleport to the knife at his feet, and as soon as he arrives at that spot, just gonna go with a swift uppercut.
To Floon,
Yeah, right to the jaw.
roll it up.
Can I give him bardic inspiration for that one?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, what does that do?
I have
Do
nothing
just-
to add, but I'm just gonna cheer from the sidelines.
You
Okay.
just add a d6 to your
Add
roll.
a d6, and then Gareth, because your opponent is surprised, you're going to use your sneak attack bonus to hit. Is there a bonus to hit, or is it just a damage?
I think it's just the damage.
Okay, so go ahead and roll it with bardic inspiration.
All right, so I one arm hand is getting it's an unarmed strike with the uppercut here, so that's the bonus I'm using.
Okay.
So it's +4 for that, then +6, or plus the d6. Okay, so that's 9. Hold on. Plus the d6. +2, badass. So 11 plus 4 is 15.
All right. You don't hurt him. You don't hurt him with a 15, but
Fuck.
you hit him. You reach out for your dagger and you move to this place between planes and you exit right in front of this guy. Just as he's about to, and you can tell this, Gareth, just as he's about to tell another lie. Just as he's about to give you some fresh bullshit as to why he burned down the one thing that you could put your name onto, Gareth. And you bring your fist up and you, all 4 knuckles right against the soft spot underneath his chin, really sock it to him. And Mel?
I think if Mel saw him do such a thing, she would let JP go to bite him. She would assume
Ooh.
we're fighting now, so.
Okay. So we let slip the Hounds of War. Do me a
Nice.
favor, Mel, roll a d20 and add 5 to it. That's Joshua Patrick's unarmed bite.
His teeth don't count as being armed.
They're
By the way,
teeth, they're not
Constance-
on his arms.
Constance flips out his little book, flips through it, and then puts on his combat helmet.
Oh, thank God. It's been Constance this whole time?
Yeah, believe it or not. I didn't mean to reveal that this early.
What'd
It
you
was
get, Diana?
plus what? I'm sorry.
+5.
Oh, 19. Sweet.
Okay. Gareth, you see Floon sort of like rock back on his heels a little bit, surprise sort of like blooming in his features. And then there's a snapping and snarling and a form. Diana, how big would you say Josh Pad is these days?
How much time has passed? I'm real bad at the.
Let's call it 6 months since you guys went into. Time is a construct. I have no fucking idea how long this module actually takes. So let's call it 6 months between the time you guys walked out of that morgue till today.
I mean, he'd still be pretty wee. Like my puppy's 6 months and she's still pretty wee, but I guess he's a bigger breed. I think I'm gonna say he's probably maybe a little bit above my knee.
Okay.
How big is he? He's a wolf pup. Wolves get real big, yeah?
Yeah. We'll say just above the knee because
Ginormous.
we're overthinking this one.
Okay.
Gareth.
I'm sorry, I do
You're
that.
fine. Gareth, you hear a snapping and snarling, and you feel incredible momentum about the spatial size of your mid thigh as a gray and charcoal black blur slams into Floon and starts snapping at his leg. There's the wet rending of cloth and clothes tearing apart, and Floon screams. And Arnold, you hear Floon scream, and one of your pockets starts growing hot to the touch. One of your pockets starts getting really, really uncomfortably hot as a strong vibration bursts from your pocket where the stone of Galore is sitting.
Right
I
on
hated
the
to
balls.
I was
say
gonna
that.
say it's bad news for me because no.
Just direct.
Where is it,
Arnold
Gareth?
crumples to the ground.
In pure agony and delight. Yeah. Um,
What do you do, Arnold?
I say this better not awaken anything in me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, okay, so I feel it, and it's exploding. It like, is it only vibrating,
Yeah,
or is it?
so he explodes. Arnold explodes.
Yeah, yeah. Are you saying that's
Hey, that hand gesture was so unnecessary, Gary. And I'm gonna be keeping it.
That's what Anthony did.
So if it's here, it's in my pocket.
Yeah.
To what extent is it vibrating and moving?
Do you reach in and grab it, Arnold?
That's why I'm asking. Like, so is it shaking me? Do I feel like it's
No, it is not. It's not shaking. The vibration is at like a fine bone level. It's
Gotcha.
the heat that is growing sort of like unaccountable.
I see. I probably wouldn't grab it myself if it's hot like that. I might. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cast Mage Hand to kind of grab it and just put it behind me.
Like,
So it's
like
just-
behind your back kind of thing?
Yeah, just kind of take it like, away from other people. Just
Okay.
I don't want anyone reaching out for it.
You cast Mage Hand, reaches in, grabs this locket. I imagine like from the string, so it's sort of dangling a little bit.
Yeah, from the
But
thumb.
even in the free space, you can see this locket is breaking, cracking. You see, Diana, what?
Nothing. I'm good.
Okay, great. You see the tiny imperfections growing in the glass of this locket, of this gemstone, of this infinite field of stars trapped in stone, slowly shattering. And behind you, you hear a sharp inhalation as Grant Klanghammer says, "What on earth? What is that? What have you done? Have you brought that here?"
Yeah.
Oh. I think Gareth wouldn't even notice that. I think he's just like so zeroed in on Floon.
Yeah, you know what, Grant? That story you told us somehow actually left me with more fucking questions. So
Please,
how about we just
please ask them.
straightforward go with that, whilst my dog makes mincemeat of Floon's leg, because fuck that guy. Why does everybody think Floon and Rainier look alike if they don't actually look alike? Who exactly is Floon? Is his father dying? Is his father undead? Like, was that a dropped storyline, or is this coming back around? There were zombies at one point. I'm not sure where the fuck we are at with that. Did I ask about why he burned down the bar? Why did he recruit us in the first place? He did go out of his way to get us. So I don't understand what exactly his fucking goal was.
And before we answer any of those, can we go pee?
Let's take a quick pee break and we'll come back to some raw dog exposition. All right, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I go by DrunkScribe across all of my socials, at DrunkScribe, hit me up. And I thought it'd be fun for this Libris Arcana segment to take one dice from one of the sets of Libris Arcana dice that you had delivered to your door on the monthly subscription and make a cocktail based off of it. I will go first, and I will take the easiest one. I'll take the Mint Julep set that you can see in my hands here. It's orange and green and speckly, and I'm going to make a D&D style ginger mule. It's going to have stem ginger and orange peel, vodka, and a little bit of cardamom smashed up and smoked. And then that's going to get muddled, and then I'm going to throw some mint leaves in there, strain it, pour it over ice, and serve it in a copper mug. I think that's delicious and themes very well with this mint julep dice. Anthony, what do you got?
I would choose the Blood Moon die because they are incredible and badass, and I like monstery horror movies. I know nothing about making drinks, so what I would do is I would take a bunch of vodka and I would I would put it in a skull with blood because I'm not a baby, Alex. Because I'm not a baby. That's I know what you're talking about. I drink blood and vodka with my
In a
dye.
skull.
In a skull. Okay.
Skull.
That themes very nicely.
That's right.
Garion.
So I'm looking at all of my various sets of beautiful Libris Arcana D20s that I have out in front of me, trying to pick which one would be the best cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go with the first set I ever got, actually, Shillelagh.
Ooh, okay.
And I think how I would do it is, I don't know, but how I would tell somebody else to do it who knows what they're doing.
Okay.
Is, you know how some of those cocktails have like the different density layered drinks?
Absolutely.
I think this would have some I mean, like thick and white not cum at the bottom.
Thanks
So
for
we
specifying.
can't put that in the ad, can we?
Before you said it.
All right, let me try that again. So I think I've landed on the first ever set. I got Shillelagh. I'm showing it off like a professional guy with my hand behind it. I'm a big fan. The description on the website really resonated with me. It was the last edges of winter fading into spring as the snow melts here.
Oh my goodness.
And I think we could do something great with a cocktail. The you know how fancy bartenders will get different density level drinks and have them like stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
What if you did like a cream liqueur with like some kind of like mint, like a green like mint?
A cream liqueur, fantastic way to describe it. A cream liqueur, real thick and white at the bottom.
Yep.
And then have a lighter, more transparent pre-liquid on top.
Yep.
That's maybe hinted. I don't want to steal
the bottom
Alex's
since it comes out first from the bottle, but it's.
I don't want to steal Alex's mint julep idea and take his mint, so I think maybe more of a lime liqueur on top.
That famous lime liqueur.
You can get all of that and more on LibrisArcana.com. They sell dice, they sell book covers, they don't sell, and you could get all of it.
Jizz.
I didn't say it.
So cold.
What a weird thing to say. Anyway, you can get not jizz and dice at librisarcana.com. Code stupid20. 20% off anything at checkout. Libris Arcana, stay funkulous, dice for life.
What's going on, everybody? We have Pete. We're back. We're all refreshed. Have great beverages, including Anthony, which I think we can all agree is the most important of the four of us. And we are going to sort of like raw exposition answer some of Diana's questions. Garion, did you say you had something to bring up before we jump in?
I wanted just to like clarify what like my headcanon for what's going on with Floon and Ranear.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that they're not like, may not be like twins, but their father had many mistresses and many heirs amongst many women, and Floon and Ranear were half brothers in this, ambitious royal family of some kind. But Floon was kind of treated like the village idiot and wore like rags, even though he was like still rich, I think. He had beef with Ranear. I don't remember why. But then now in the future, everybody thinks he's Ranear, and he's like, that bitch. And he made up the lie about his father being sick as just like a cover story to us as to why he'd been missing. And that's just like a red herring. Is
All
that
right.
the phrase?
Oh, red hair. Got it.
Red herring. Nice, Anthony.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's
Hell
what
yeah.
No, it was my joke.
Was it your joke?
I'm the one who said it.
Okay. Allow me, Madam Diana. I'm going to answer your questions in character, even though they were phrased sort of above table, because this is the last episode of this campaign. And here
I'm going to tell you. Hang on. I want to, like, for the longest time, I thought you were doing, because Floon is always like high. And I thought it was going to be like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. And I was like, they're the same person. He just doesn't know that it's him. It's a split consciousness thing. And I was hoping that's what it was. And I was like, he doesn't realize he's the villain. So he would be more forgivable and more redeemable because he doesn't know he's the villain. But now they're two different people. One of them's dead. And I'm like, fuck, hey, I don't know what's going on. I hate this.
Yeah, that would have been way cooler, and you should feel bad.
Just piss me off. No, but anyway, I really want to know. I'm so sorry. I have to. That's what I thought was happening for like 70 episodes.
No, it's cool. I'll just go fuck myself, Anthony. Thank you. Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I just had a way cooler and better idea for your story. But like, if you want to continue with your dumbass plot, that's fine.
The only reason I had to bring this up is because last episode I was like, wait, so they're not the same person? And I did it like 3 times. Like I don't believe you. Like they have to be the same person. Now I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'm with Diana. I need all these answers.
All right.
Dude, I tried so hard to make Floon a nobody. I was like, nah, it's just our fucking dumbass bartender.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Grant Klanghammer clears his throat like he is about to launch into a lecture that he will ideally be uninterrupted for, and says, allow me, Lady Meliora, to elucidate you into some of the particulars of this family drama unfolding in front of us. To your first query, who the fuck is Floon? May I first of all compliment you on your phrasing. Floon is Ranear Neverember's half-brother. He shares his blood, but not his lineage. He is a Neverember by the right of his father, but only if he is recognized, which he is not. So he is a bastard of a royal house in Waterdeep. He is Floon, last name unknown. He is not Ranear Neverember. He is never a Neverember, despite his most dearest wishes that he would be, because the name of his father carries power, money, and fortune, all three of which Floon desperately wishes he had.
His ass is an ember.
How is he related to Ranear Neverember? He is, in fact, his half-brother. Floon's mother was a very pretty woman, I am given to understand, but not worthy of the Neverember name, which is a shame that Floon apparently carries every day. Why did he recruit the three of you? Yes, Garion.
I was wondering if I could roll to just be beating up Floon in the background while this monologue is happening.
Great
'Cause that's
question. Please roll it up. I would love nothing more.
He's on the ground shocked. Do I have to roll to hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Do
but
I
he's
get
also
some
got a
sort of
dog
advantage?
chewing his leg.
Yeah, you get Josh Pat advantage, so you're gonna roll 5d20 and actually take the highest of the 5.
Cool. All right. So we have 8.
Bad.
8 again.
Also bad.
14.
Better.
Didn't see that one. 15
Okay.
and 19.
Okay, so 19 is the highest. Yes, in the background, Gareth, let's say that you are punching Floon's spine through his stomach.
Hell yeah. Just I love to imagine fucking Clanghammer is just like, and then and the fact.
Okay. Why did Floon recruit the three of you? I assume it is because Floon had some idea of his father's embezzling, but had no particulars to the details. I'm not sure if you know this, but there's a sort of memory charm associated with this vault. If you don't remember it actively, if you were not part of sealing the spell that shrouded it from memory, then it disappeared from your brain. It is entirely possible that Floon remembered that he was here with his erstwhile brother, but then it evaporated from his memory, but he somehow managed to cling to some shred of it, enough at least to recruit 3 or 4 hardy adventurers to assist him in locating it in the city. Why did he burn down the bar? I am sure in my heart of hearts that it was because some fathomless, powerful god in the sky needed you to get to this place here, and decided that also kind of fuck you. You have made his life very difficult over the last 52-ish odd episodes, and sometimes you need to have the things you love taken away from you. Sorry, I'm breaking character a little here. Let me dive back into the character voice.
It's glad to know that the answer to this dying question was divine punishment.
Grant Clanghammer clears his throat and adjusts his grip on his cane and looks very regal. He's wearing like plate armor with like, I think there's like a cape over one shoulder that's like a rich blue velvet. He looks very nice. I suspect that him telling you that his father was sick or dying was, as your companion suggested, a ruse born of the moment in a scenario of panic where he said the first thing that came to his mind. I know for a fact that Ghost Neverember has been dead for some time. Now, as to this question of is he a zombie or some sort of post-death situation, I cannot speak to that. I don't know. But he is, in fact, he has eaten the big one, I think is the community phrase. He has snuffed out his candle. He has guzzled his last Twinkie. He has choked on his last
penis. Yeah.
Ghost
Neverember is no longer of this world.
The final episode is going to be called Penis, yeah. just a very
critically stupid finale.
Penis,
Yeah.
I dare you to put that on.
Don't.
Dude, if you put it on, it'll win.
It will. Twitter's got the worst taste. I love you guys so much. Okay. And of course, why did Floon kill Ranear Neverember? And this he says over like Floon's shouts of pains and Gareth's like muffled grunts as he punches this dude like into the cobblestones. Gareth, cutting to you, there's like blood spraying across the stones. There's blood on your knuckles. He's lost a shoe. Josh Pat has blood smeared all over his lips and teeth. The two of you are having a goddamn mountain of a time. And from your pocket, you hear an angry meow as Constance the cat like extends both paws, and there's like the tiniest spark that exists between them and like jolts Floon a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
I suppose you are going to have to ask him that yourself. That isn't, if you can catch him before your companion kills him.
Nah,
Not that important.
You know what? I'd rather he die than get answers, I've decided.
All right. Gareth, you rear back a hand that is coated with blood. Floon's face is rapidly swelling and turning puffy. There are lacerations across both of his cheekbones. His nose is bent in a way that it shouldn't be. There's blood on his teeth and tongue and lips. And you rear back your hand to punch and strike forward. And suddenly, Gareth, it's like you have punched your fist straight into a wall. Your knuckles go not a single inch further. And Josh Pat lunges forward to bite, I think, more of Floon's calf, which is already looking like burger meat. And Josh Pat freezes where he is. His lips are extended backwards from his teeth. He's snarling and salivating, and his eyes are pinched into twin slits of pure anger. And behind you, Arnold, you hear one more delicate glass cracking. And Floon jumps up, Gareth, like leaps to his feet. Like you haven't been beating him into the cobblestones for the last 25 odd seconds or however it took Grant Clanghammer to launch into his lecture of exposition. And there's something wriggling underneath his skin.
Bugs.
He looks at you and smiles and says in a voice that sounds so very unlike his own, "If you were to ask me to do it again," and he turns and spits blood and what you assume to be tooth fragments bouncing along the stone floor, and he smiles at you. "Knowing what I know now, I would do it again, man. Even if I wound up in this exact scenario every time. If you asked me if I wanted to kill that arrogant, narcissistic motherfucker of a half-brother, I would kill him every single time."
Dude,
I feel like you could have done that without
Could've done that
dragging
so
us
many
into
times.
it.
Yeah. Oh,
There was
you
a
We
lot
were
of
so
opportunity that you
unbelievably
could've
just
just done
here
it.
for the money and
Money.
did not want to get involved in all of this nonsense.
Okay, a couple of things happen at once. Arnold, I think you turn, hearing this glass break, and I think you see like there's a series of imperfections in the stone, and you see one spider web connect all of them, and suddenly this stone shatters, and you see a writhing of tentacles explode out of this stone, not attacking you. And they're not even attached to anything. It's not like there's a massive squid creature exploding from the stone. You see a burst of tentacles explode from the stone across the room to Floon.
Okay.
Gareth, you see writhing underneath Floon's skin. And while he's telling you this, I guess you could call it a promise of vengeance over and over again, holes start to punch through his skin as tiny wriggling tendrils of tentacles explode from his flesh, growing and thriving through his muscles.
Muscles?
Nice one, idiot. Yeah, now you have to start the whole thing over.
Eerie, what are muscules?
You see tendrils shattering through his flesh and writhing along his fingers. And the last face you see of Floon, Gareth, that is actually Floon, is spattered with blood and bits of teeth. His teeth are like broken from your knuckles, breaking them in relentlessly. His calf is chewed up from Josh Pat, who is still frozen next to your knee. And he's grinning in a way that you It chills your blood, Gareth, standing there, because it's the grin of somebody that knows exactly the bargain he's made and would do it again and again and again.
Like the Joker, baby.
And then Floon is gone for all intents and purposes. His face dissolves into a series of tendrils and suckers and tentacles exploding from his face. His fingers bulge and swell and turn into like sort of like eldritch, horrifying claws, and a face erupts from the area that his throat and neck, and it's pinched and twisted and full of anger and whorls of flesh. Looks exactly like that, honestly. If you're not watching,
kind of like Rykard from Elden Ring.
Like Rykard from Elden Ring. And Mel, you hear Grant Klanghammer say, I really, really wish you did not bring that thing here. This is going to cause quite a commotion. As a monstrosity explodes out of the carcass of Floon, wielding him like a puppet. It is, I'm going to say, 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, and absolutely bursting with tentacles and cruelly curved fingers. Meanwhile, the ceiling crumples in, call it 20 feet to your left, and 4 black-clad brigands dressed in the guard of the Xanathar Guild that you have met countless times over this campaign drop to the ground in a kaleidoscope of gold coins that go scattering over the cobblestones. There are 2 archers, 2 swordsmen, and then following them down is a full-grown beholder with 10 spokes with eyes on the end of them. His one eye is narrowed at you in rage, and his mouth is a cruelly curved, jagged hole filled with sharp teeth. Gareth, you recognize him.
Do I? Good.
As, I mean, it could be the only one that we've had this entire adventure.
No, it's probably like some other unrelated one.
It is Tim.
No, because Tim's is adolescent. This one's fully grown. It's like a different one.
I don't think that's true at all.
No, I think I vetoed that. Sorry.
Okay.
So, Tim,
That arc is canceled.
You're gonna cancel that arc?
Yeah, no more.
when we first met Tim, he had one of those big old fucking scars because obviously he's a child that was turned into a beholder, which are other questions that I have.
That's not a question. You fucking
nailed.
nailed that, bestie.
Well, just like why they're doing the thing. So now he's a full grown, but he's not really a beholder. He's a child in a beholder body.
Boy.
I'll tell you what, we're going to roll initiative right now. And then later you can try to save him. So
I hate when I'm first.
Dianna, you see Tim and some brigands come shooting down the ceiling. You see this eldritch monstrosity explode from Floon. Floon is still in there somewhere. His loose flesh carcass is sort of like a spread out puppet across these eldritch tentacles and hook hands. And his wet plaster face is sort of like stretched in a pantomime grin across some section of this horrifying creature.
Cool.
But Tim shouts in a voice that sounds entirely unlike his, kill everyone, leave the dwarf.
And the cute white-haired one.
Dianna.
How many? Okay, so there's the Floon monster,
Floon monster.
the Tim monster,
Tim monster.
and what else?
4 brigands.
4 guys.
4 brigand. And how are we all standing?
We'll figure it out. Just who do you want to attack first? The 3 of you are standing in a very closed, like section. There is the Floon monster, let's call it in front of you, and then to your left by 15 feet is Tim and the 4 brigands. So you can choose to shoot Tim and the 4 brigands, or you can choose to shoot the Floon monster, but you would be hard pressed to shoot both, especially with a spell that has range of effect.
Is there a proximity danger if she shoots the flume monster? Because I'm like right there.
You're close enough to Mel and Arnold that I don't think so for now.
Well, in real time, like as Floon erupted in tentacles and teeth and finger, like wiggly fingers, what would Gareth have done?
Probably shrieked like a little girl.
Right, probably. But like, because he was punching him, then I imagine you would have, retreated.
I imagine Garion's...
I would have jumped back in some sort of fright or perhaps even shock.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think so.
Gotcha. And at that point, did you already pocket your knife, or do you have it? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I'm holding it in my hand.
Cool. Okay. So it makes sense. He's out of the way. We had enough time for it.
He's out of the way, but I'm not sure that either. I mean, the point of that spell would be to hit multiple things, and if that's not gonna happen, then I'm not sure that it's worth.
You could hit Tim and the 4 brigands with it. They are grouped up away from the 4 of you. There would be no collateral damage with that.
Okay, so I guess I'll go for that since he just yelled "kill everyone."
Sure.
What am I roll?
You're going to roll 2 regular attacks, and then I'm going to make a bunch of dexterity saving throws.
Regular
I got a
attacks.
4 and a 17. So
What
the
dice are
brigands...
you rolling?
What?
What dice? Is it the...
It's to hit. It's your regular... Oh, sorry, you don't have your character sheet. D20 plus 7.
Shit. Good. 26. I got a 19.
Wow. Yeah. No, that hits for sure. The brigands roll out of it, so they are going to take half damage. So I want you to roll a D10 for me, please.
What's the D10 look like?
It's 2 pyramids, but with 5 sides instead of 4, butt to butt. 2 5-sided pyramids, butt to butt.
2 pentagons, butt to butt.
Am I adding anything to it?
No.
Get familiar with the D10. You'll need it for a special upcoming Patreon project.
Noted. I'm trying to... I think that one's the 6. I can never tell the 6 and the 9. I'm going with 6.
6.
Yeah.
Nice. Diana, you shoot 2 arrows and they slam into one of the brigands and then chings against the gold and then explodes into this like writhing collection of thorny spikes, and 2 of the brigands get caught up in it. They are going to have slower movement on their next turn. Would you like to do anything else?
Do I get something else?
Nope, that's it. Okay.
I was gonna say, I thought that was...
Gareth, you're looking at a horrible eldritch floon monster. And you heard some commotion behind you.
Is it still like writhing, or like is it standing there? What does it do?
It is looking at you with, I'm going to say, the most malicious intent you've ever seen in your life.
I think I'll stab it.
Okay, cool. With your regular dagger or your magic dagger?
I would have both out by now.
Okay.
So I think I'll go right left, which is magic dagger than normal dagger.
Okay, so you're going to roll 2d20. You're going to add your bonuses to the first one, but not the second one.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. That is an 18 plus 5 is 23.
Yes.
Sweet.
Imagine if I said no. Imagine if I said that didn't hit.
That would be really cool and funny, dude. The damage on my magic dagger, is that a D6 or is it something cooler and better? Dang,
it's a D6. You are going to add your to hit bonus to the second because you have 2 weapon fighting, but not the damage bonus to the second one, if that makes sense.
Oh, cool. What is my damage bonus? It's like plus like a bajillion.
I think it's plus 4.
Okay,
plus
that is
3
what I thought,
tops.
Okay, so 2 plus 4 is 6. Wait, yeah, 2 plus 4 is 6.
Okay.
And then left hand. I do add the bonus you said?
Yes, to hit.
Okay, so 12 plus 4 is 16.
That also hits.
Oh, badass. But no damage bonus.
No damage bonus. Just the
Okay.
raw d6.
3.
3. All right. You plunge your teleporting knife into the soft but slightly turgid flesh of this writhing tentacle sea monster, and you are rewarded with an expulsion of blood and seawater. It's thick like mud that coats your hand, and then you stab again, and this one, your second swipe is sort of like a more ineffective sort of like cutting swipe, but still manages to puncture this creature's rough but wet, rubbery hide. Bad guys. 2 of the brigands are going to sort of swear, "Ah, fuck, shit, oh," as they pull themselves out of the thorns that have erupted across their feet and legs.
They're
The
doing
other,
that thing where they're like pulling out the thorns from their
yeah,
clothes.
boink, boink, exactly. But Tim is going to look at Dianna. Yeah, Anthony. How about that? Last episode miracle.
That's right.
And is going to Dianna, I need you to make a strength save for me, please.
What is that?
You are going to roll a d20 and add 5 to it.
God, Tim, you little bitch.
Wow.
We were trying to be friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's all grown up and an asshole.
Just like me.
Yeah, because I was never trying to be friends with you, you punk ass dick.
What'd you get, Dianna?
18.
Okay. You are
And I lost a friend in the process. Continue.
you are pushed 10 feet as one of these eyes on these stalks like looks at you and glows a malevolent, ugly green. And you feel a wave of force hit you like a brick wall. However, you manage to keep your feet and your weapons as you are sent 10 feet backwards, sliding against gold coins, almost like an ice skater in a rink.
I'm gonna shoot the shit out of you next time, Tim. How dare.
Gareth, this horrible eldritch screaming monster is going to swat at you with one of its many tentacles and is going to roll a 7 against your AC. Is that pretty close?
Weave! That's what Gareth did. Weave!
There
He
is
said it out loud, too.
You say it out loud as you weave. The cobblestones slam with the reverberation of this explosion, of this explosive hit, and there are a sudden like shred of gold coins that explode in a cloud. Gareth and Arnold, I need dexterity saving throws from the two of you, please. Uh-oh.
I'm real worried about Arnold.
I'm real worried about Gareth.
Anthony, you should go first.
I got a
It's
17.
not that bad.
17, okay.
I got a 17.
Okay, Gareth got an 11.
Okay.
I was post-weave.
Post-weave, you absolutely hate to see it. So, Gareth, you dodge the slam of this massive tentacle. However, it kicks up a shrapnel cloud of gold coins that explode towards you, and you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage as it shreds the skin of your hands, arms, and face.
God, I did extra damage because I tried to catch every single one. I'm like widening myself to like.
And then the creature moves one of these like rigid sort of like claws and snatches Josh Pat out of the air and holds it in a cage of like bone and like thick flesh and hoists him aloft. That's it for the bad guy's turn. Anthony.
Okay. So I obviously I see this creature lift Josh Pat. How far away from the creature's like main body is Josh Pat?
15 feet. He's held quite far in the air.
Quite far into. Okay, but he's also held. Okay. Is anyone? I mean, I guess he has. Okay, I'll tell you what's going on in my mind right now.
Please,
I want to
please.
try to attack this creature, and I'm imagining that if I am successful, I don't want him to let go of Josh Pad and hurt Josh Pad. I know he won't because we're not allowed to do that in this show.
We do
but
not
I
hurt
also-
animals in the show.
Okay, but I also feel like it's cheating if I just like don't consider it to some extent. But okay, it doesn't matter. I might not even be successful.
It's well known that wolf cubs always land on their feet.
That's fair.
Don't you have that feather fall thing?
I do, but if I cast one spell to hurt the
He can't attack
Oh,
and
okay,
save
I
at
gotcha.
the same time.
Okay.
I
That's the-
appreciate you remembering his spell
Yeah,
list. That's
for
pretty
sure.
great.
I know.
Wait,
I
I'm
can't
pretty
remember
sure
mine
that
to
part
save
of
my
I'm
life.
pretty sure that part of the loot in the vault is like a really kingly, treasurely down bed. And it's right underneath where Josh Pad is.
See, if we were sponsored by Casper mattresses, this is the moment where we could bust out a Casper mattress to save Josh Pad. But unfortunately, just kidding.
Unfortunately, the dice is
fine.
made out of Libris Arcana, or the bed is made out of Libris Arcana dice. Sorry.
All right, Anthony, roll up that attack spell.
Yeah, so I'm going to 100% at the very core of that creature. I'm going to cast Shatter. So it's you. You have to roll a Constitution.
Okay.
And can I ask, because I don't know before you tell me that, I do have the cutting words, and I'm not sure exactly. I know it's the opposite of Bardic Inspiration, so I can hurt your ability, I think. So it's as a reaction when a creature that's not immune to being charmed. Let me see. Yeah, when you make an attack roll or ability check, is this considered an ability check or a damage roll?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to cast cutting words on you when you're trying to avoid this spell.
Okay, roll a d6 for me, please, Anthony.
And also come up with a
say
really
anything.
cutting insult.
Yeah, you do have to tell me what you say.
You better hurt his feelings.
I'm gonna say, you only look slightly more handsome than Floon.
Wow.
Okay, roll it up.
Wow.
I got a 2.
Okay. So, yeah, he doesn't avoid this at all.
Yes.
He fucking tanks it.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Let me roll the damage. The damage is 21.
Okay. I think you see the rogue get like attacked by this shrapnel cloud of gold, and you cast Shatter with your signature sort of like shrieking pitch note of like exactly that. And you see raw spears of liquid gold erupt from these stacks and pierce forward, spiking through this creature in like 1, 2, 3, 4 lances worth of ore. And there's like this black Icarus saltwater smelling blood that explodes from this creature as it shrieks in rage. Roll up that damage, Anthony.
Oh, that was the damage. I'm sorry. It was 21.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. I forgot.
No,
Yes,
no.
21. Okay, let me write that down before I forget because I'm actually tracking in numbers this time. Okay, 21. Okay.
This time.
What? It's like Diana tracking her health. All right. Top of the order, Diana. You have seen the rogue attacked by gold coins. You have seen your dog snatched by this creature, and you have seen Arnold the Bard attack this creature in reciprocation. You've also been attacked by Tim, the adult beholder, whose eye is narrowed at you like he hates your guts.
Well, I hate his, so I'd go to rescue JP.
How?
I'm going to shoot the thing.
The tentacle holding him?
Isn't there like a main thing from which the tentacles?
Yeah, so he's grasped by this sort of like cage of like bone and chitinous material that's exploded from one of these tentacles. So you would have to sever the tentacle holding him for it to like fall, because you can't just shoot a series of bones to let him go. Or you could, for the first time in 52 episodes, put your bow away and pull out your 2 short swords.
Yeah, but that's not as good.
Okay.
But was there not? I mean, don't all the tentacles come out of a main like person?
Oh, there's a
better?
central hub that actually looks like what used to be Floon, is most of the hub, the central body of this creature, so to speak.
Yeah, I think
If you want to try to, I just had a great idea. If you do want to try to sever the limb, I could try something for the main hub.
Yeah, do I only get 2 hits for the bow, or do I get that for any strike that I do?
You attack twice regardless of weapon.
Okay, well then that
Wait,
gives
if she has 2 swords, does that mean she gets 2 per?
No, she gets...
Okay.
Yeah, she gets 2 attacks. There's no way she attacks
Okay.
4 times.
That's some monk flurry of blows
Yeah,
nonsense.
that's some fighter level. That's another class.
okay, well since I get 2 shots at it, then I guess I will try to sever the tentacle and will defer to the rogue who says he has some sort of idea.
Okay.
So I was able to get the PDF. So I roll D20 plus 6, it looks
7.
like. For the short sword?
Oh, yes. For the short sword, it's 6. My God, putting the
You
short,
shouldn't have-
putting
you
the
shouldn't have
bow
argued.
away. This is very exciting.
So
Okay.
there's 2 short swords, but it'll apply to both.
Yes. So roll damage, and then we'll just do it 2 times.
You don't want me to roll to hit first?
Roll to hit, but
Okay.
this will be for both
Listen,
attacks.
I've been drinking. Oh, and that's why I'm rolling real good. 18 plus 6 is 24.
Yes. Very good. Roll up some damage.
Nice Salamander Sands by Libris Arcana you got there, Anthony.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
6.
My other favorites is sorry.
Go ahead.
I like
Nancy.
this frostbite. I'm
It's
so excited.
fine. I interrupt you constantly. It's only fair that in our last episode of the campaign, you finally interrupt me.
Mel, you run up to this cage holding Josh Pat, and although it's 15 feet in the air, I see you sort of like leap onto a tentacle and then throw yourself in the air.
It's so cool.
It's so fucking cool. And it's only made cooler by your surgical, deliberate excision of flesh as you carve all of these bone protrusions holding your dog away from this tentacle. And the 2 of you, you and Josh Pat, fall nimbly to your feet on the ground, both free of this, as you see an explosion of blood and ichor and thick salt water explode from this. And you see Floon's horribly stretched, grotesque mockery of humanity's face stretch in an otherworldly howl of pain and frustration.
Cool.
Great turn. We're gonna go to Gareth.
So tell me about the main hub. Is there some sort of weakness I can see, like a main core of some kind?
I tell you what, do you remember a couple episodes ago where I described you guys standing on the sea, and then as you pulled apart, you saw twin burning eyes underneath the waves? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah.
You see 2 burning red spheres behind this sort of like stretched out version of Floon's face on this hub.
Okay. So Gareth reaches into one of his many pockets and pulls out something that he stashed away quite a while ago.
Okay.
That ring of basically magic grenades.
What?
You remember that thing that kid had that of just like magic rocks that he would throw and they would explode? That Gareth still has on him.
Yeah.
Gareth has been playing 4D chess this entire time, and I'm here for it.
How many of those do you think I can throw per turn? And are you looking up D&D grenade mechanics?
No, I'm looking up. Oh no.
Well, how did it work? Didn't they have to get wet or something? Was there something stupid?
No. So let me tell you. So because Gareth has evoked sort of like an in-story thing, I have to answer in-story. So Gareth is holding a necklace of fireball spells, each one of which does, let me look for it. That's right, 8d6 damage. And if I remember correctly, there were 6 originally. The creature threw 1, so there are 5. There are 5 fireball spells attached to a piece of string in Gareth's hand.
So funny.
So Gareth,
Arnold takes a nap.
All right, so Gareth, you are holding, I think between that episode and this one, you would have identified these spells. You would have had your best friend Arnold help you with it. So you know
I
that
would
you
have
are
taken
holding.
it over to Wicked Ways and Wilds and having it have the
Producer
appraised.
Sean has handled it and told you to pack it in styrofoam and packing peanuts and thick bundled cloth, and you have done none of that, and it has been instead rattling around your loose pocket for 27 episodes. So what would you like to do with the thermonuclear device that you have been holding in one pocket for just enough time to truly, truly, truly irritate me?
I think I'm going to just test the waters here and chuck one like a baseball pitcher 98-mile-per-hour fastball right at the two glowing eyes of the monstrosity.
Okay, give me a dexterity attack, please. Add whatever the dex attack. Sorry.
Okay, so just the dex bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus proficiency, because it is just you're hurling a ball. Like it's not, you're good at this.
What's my proficiency?
I think it's 3.
Okay, so 3 plus 3 because that's my normal bonus.
Yes.
All right, well, badass. That's a 24 because I got an 18.
Cool. So you huck one of these glowing orange orbs on this necklace at this creature of tentacle, bone, seawater, nightmare hellscape creation. And there is a explosion that blinds 2/3 of you for a split second. And when the smoke clears, I hate you so much. When the
Feels
smoke
so good to be
clears,
me.
Gareth, there is a 6-foot hole in this creature's side that smells like cooked salmon. And it is staring at you with a rage that I cannot express in English words. That's your turn.
Sick.
Bad guy's turn.
Holy shit, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, you hear a mockery of Floon's voice boom over this vault and scream, "You will never take what belongs to me."
Me. Gareth does that.
Right? Like, you got 4 more of those fucking things, right? Like,
I do, yeah.
we might take what belongs to you, bub.
All right.
I got a cannon over here. Phone. Gareth played fantasy Little League baseball.
Did you? Okay. Tim the Beholder turns to you, Gareth.
Oh no.
And you see his one massive eye start welling up with a huge tear as one of these tentacle eyeballs swivels to you, and he shouts through the massive, huge curved teeth in his mouth, "It wasn't supposed to be like this." I would like you to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
14 plus 3 is 17.
Okay. I am going to roll D8. You can't hold me hostage in the finale. Fuck you. All right, Gareth. 8.
That was the worst work I've ever seen.
Wow.
11,
That's body shaming somehow.
19,
It's not. It's just shaming your skills.
What are you rolling over
25. You are going to take 30 points of necrotic damage.
there? Quick question.
Yeah, how much health do you think we have?
You know that kills me, right? Gareth drops dead onto the ground immediately. All right.
Yep. You take 30 points of necrotic damage as this eye fucking hits you, and it hurts real bad.
I hope all of my grenades roll onto the floor and comically explode dramatically.
Your necklace of fireball gently lands on your cloak and is fine. And Tim
Constance is also perfectly fine.
Constance is totally fine. Constance is totally fine. But Tim looks at you, hurt beyond belief, and says again, "We were supposed to be friends."
Let's recap. Did I really do anything to Tim? This feels unwarranted.
Anthony, it is your turn.
Okay, so obviously I see Tim destroy my best friend.
Yeah.
It's necrotic damage too, so he was just like, I guess like.
Yeah, you see like a gray blue, almost like a bruise start expanding across Gareth's mouth and lips and moving backwards across his face.
Crazy Jujutsu Kaisen reference.
Anthony.
So, okay. I mean, I know we're in battle, but so can I tell if Tim is being sincere about this? Like, does he clearly doesn't want to be hurting Gareth, right?
No, I know I can't exactly testify as a dead
Yeah.
person.
I'm sorry, could you do a
But
better
maybe.
could you do a better dead person impersonation for me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Tim is clearly broken up about this, Arnold, and is like very conflicted.
Okay. So I'm going to cast blindness on Tim. It's a Constitution saving of 13.
Yeah. Okay. Constitution's blindness. I tell you what, Anthony, for a creature that's all eyeball, this is kind of a rough one for me, if I could be totally H. Okay. I rolled a 4, Anthony.
You've been avenged, FYI, Gareth.
Okay,
No,
so
don't talk to him. I'm like I like it better this way.
so I cast that and
Why
I
does
say
he get to be dead?
Sorry, maybe you should have. Again, what did I do to Tim?
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
you should
even.
have done less to Tim.
I think I just kind of like lied a little bit, and then he was like, "Did you lie to me?" I just lied more, and then he killed me.
Man, it's almost like he's a little kid that just wanted a friend and that you lied to him multiple times.
Last I heard, he was described as a fully grown beholder. Which is it, DM?
I hate you so much, Anthony.
So Arnold casts that spell and blinds him and says, "I'm sorry, Tim. We don't want to be fighting you." You know, clearly doesn't. He's like, "We are friends."
Okay. Well, that was, I'll tell you what, Anthony, very successful. It is top of the order, Diana's turn. Diana, you see Gareth crumpled on the ground, dead. Or
can't-
like severely unconscious.
No, it's pretty
I mean, he's
dead.
pretty dead based on that, but I have nothing I can't bring back the dead.
I have -8 HP.
Even if I healed you, you would just be a little less dead, but you'd still be
So,
pretty dead. There's literally
on-
nothing I can do.
On Garion's next turn, he is going to make a death saving throw. He is not dead until he fails 3 of them in a row. Or not 3 of them in a row, but until he fails 3 of them, he is savable. If you go over to him and make a successful medicine check, give him a health potion, you can bring him back to 1 HP. He is not flushed down the drain dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Exactly.
Before I do, and I know we're in combat, but I want to kind of say to Tim, you were a boy. You were a boy. I met your brother.
Tim's mouth falls open in abject shock, and he says, "You what?"
We met your brother. We saved your brother. And you killed Gareth. We saved your brother, and he was worried about you, Tim. That's all he cared about was you.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's not one of me.
No, we got him out of there. He's with a lovely family now and misses you.
Talk about how much Gareth helped.
Gareth did, in fact, help a ton. Did you just hear that? It's like there's a ghost or something
Like the
in here.
wind.
It's weird. Like, I swear I just heard, I probably imagined it, but it was a group effort is what I'm saying, that Gareth did absolutely help. Yeah, we got him out of there. And he wanted us to find you.
And he's not. Does he remember me?
Yes.
But does he remember me as I was?
Yeah. He doesn't know that what you were turned into by evil people that took advantage of you.
Make me a persuasion roll, please, Mel, and take the biggest advantage you've ever earned on your own this entire campaign.
I don't know what that means by biggest advantage.
2 advantage rolls.
You're gonna roll a d20 twice. Take the higher of the two.
Higher of the 3.
What even is my persuasion? It's only 13. That's
Plus a bajillion.
Shut up, Gary.
right. That was right. That is a what did I just fucking looked at it too. I've been drinking. But I'm rolling real good because I've been drinking. That comes to a 19.
19.
Gotta drink more, fuck.
These bad guys are attempting to extricate themselves from their thorny undercarriage.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah. But they're running across the ground, racing across this vault towards you guys, Mel. Gareth is crumpled up on the floor, and you see 2 of these brigands sort of run at you with swords extended. And one of these eyes on Tim swivels and snaps towards 2 of the brigands that were about to attack you. And in a second, both of them are turned to stone. From foot to the tip of their head, they turn into stone and collapse to the ground, one of them chipping and scraping across the ground. And Tim, without missing a beat, says, Do you think he'll be okay with me like this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of sorry that I killed that guy.
That's a bummer. We're actually gonna we have met some divine little dweeb at some point. There's a ceiling tile he opens. I was just gonna appeal to him to see if he might intervene and bring back our friend here.
Oh, here, wait, Alex, real quick. Here's your thumbnail.
Thank you. I love the squeaking of the chair just to mess with the audio. It's my favorite part.
You don't need audio for a thumbnail, you buffoon.
WD-40 your chair, bitch. Okay.
Suck my nuts and balls.
Wait, your what?
My nuts and my
Your
balls.
nuts and your balls.
They're different.
Okay, Anthony. You hear this exchange between Mel and Tim. You see these 2 brigands turn to stone. You see this horrible monster of tentacles and nightmare flesh extend, swell upwards like it's going to crash down on you. And you see Gareth standing there, limp against the cobblestones with a necklace of fireballs in his hand.
Okay. The first thing I do is I cancel the blindness spell for Tim, just because that's I just cancel the spell. So I'm gonna leap over to the necklaces, and I'm just gonna do what Arnold would do, which is just throw the whole necklace at the big monster. That's what would happen. And
You've got to wail at least a little. No, come on, give me something.
Give me a little wailing.
Should I do the Darth Vader? No.
Yeah, please. like Padme just died.
Yeah, of all times, usually Arnold would be no, but he's very SpongeBob,
Yeah.
Oh,
Shakes the earth.
Okay. I love this a lot, Anthony. Roll a dexterity attack. Take advantage on it.
Oh, God.
And how many d6 is this again? 5d6, and there are 4 left. So
there's 4 left.
40 d6.
It's 8d6 each.
Woo! All right, I got 18. What's my dex bonus?
So much math. 8d6 each.
The good thing is that Anthony's using a roller so that he actually can do this very easily.
Yeah. What's my dex bonus though?
I have a roller. And, my
20,
roller
22. Is what I got. Well, that was my first roll. Those 22.
Give that one to me clean, and then give me the second roll clean while Gareth shuts the fuck up.
All right, I got a 22.
Perfect. What's the next one?
Let me tell you.
Libris Arcana.
I'm gonna murder you.
It was 18. So
Okay,
20.
so 22. All right, Arnold, you run to the fallen form of your best friend, who has, for all intents and purposes, died right there.
There
And you-
are cartoonishly drawn X's over my eyes.
X's over his eyes. There's a circle of Tweety birds over his head. He's dead. And you grab this necklace of fireballs and you huck it right at this grotesque face of Floon, who is about to like slam down and kill likely all of you.
Finally. I'm just
And
kidding.
there is a concussive blast across this whole vault. Arnold, I need you to roll 32d6 for me, please.
All right. It's a 117.
Fantastic. Okay. Good news. You evaporate this creature from existence. There is an unearthly scream and a burst that explodes beyond the force of this fireball that feels otherworldly as whatever was inside Floon, whatever piece of malevolent evil was trying this whole campaign to get to you guys, explodes outward in a fiery furnace of rage and impotent nothing as it explodes into the empty air. The bad news...
Wait, hold on, Garion. Will you do the unearthly scream?
Please.
Thank you.
The bad news is that a wall of flame 30 feet tall and 4 feet thick explodes towards Gareth, Arnold,
Oh, does it explode
Mel,
toward Gareth? Quick, I'll
Constance,
dodge it.
and Joshua Patrick.
So can I, as a reaction, take out my bongo and just start playing my bongos?
That is the wildest suggestion you have ever
Gonna
given me.
rain.
This is the most Arnold shit ever. Oh no!
It makes it rain.
Oh no! Ba, 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 ba. Okay.
By the way, Constance is really quick to change this into like a gas mask.
Let's make some epic decisions here. Arnold,
Oh.
you see this wall of fire explode towards you, immolating the air and melting the cobblestones and turning several piles of these gold coins into liquid, burning ore. And then suddenly, the fire moves past you and over you and beyond you, but leaves you and Gareth and Constance and Josh Pat and Mel entirely alone. And
What about Tim?
you turn and suddenly Tim is protected as well as this fire booms past an invisible shield, an aura of force that is held around you. And as quickly as it started, the fire fades. There is melted pile of disgusting sea monster everywhere. It smells like low tide. And you turn, Arnold, and standing in the exact same spot of Grant Clanghammer is a 40-foot tall gold dragon. His wings are brushing the edges of the room. His face is staring down at you. His talons are the size of Mel standing right next to them. And with that
And
same...
that explains why he caught my nat 20 sleight of hand. Fuck me.
With that same bemused voice, it speaks to all of you and says, "Now that is unexpected. I apologize profusely for concealing my form from you. The dragon staff of Garion was necessary to the ruse. I imagine this only brings up more questions, Lady Melior. Fear not, I will answer them. But first, and this gold dragon, did I say gold or brass?
Gold.
This gold dragon, this gold dragon reaches down very gingerly and picks up the staff that the dwarf was holding and touches the tip of it to Gareth's chest. And there's a brief gold nimbus that looks exactly like the power of friendship from Davil Star Song's ship. I hate you so much, Daniel.
Arnold like automatically clasps his buttons. Like he's just like
Arnold, you feel a reverberating like heat in your chest as this light like fills the room, and then Gareth, you gasp air and you come back from the land of the dead.
How was it?
I like to imagine that I was just like hanging out with like fucking Charon on the boat or whatever, and I'm just like, oh.
I love so much that Mel's first reaction was, "How was it?" Like a kid who heard that their classmate went to Disneyland over summer break.
It's a valid question. I'm curious.
Okay.
So I think that like Gareth didn't really have a lot of time to process the fact that he was in fact dying. He just like died.
He just died.
I'm
gonna
still
need so
like
much
mid
therapy.
thought, so I'm like reaching for like more grenades to throw, and I'm just like scrambling around.
I like a confused moment from Gareth. That's pretty fitting for somebody that just died.
Honestly, Arnold would just hug him and be like, "I'm sorry, I threw your necklace." And
I
just,
didn't even have like a sacrificial like no. I was literally just like, huh?
Isn't the best sacrifice of all that you gave that moment to your best friend?
Sure.
The gold dragon says, "I was placed down here as a bargain for Lord Neverember to guard his cash until he came back from his trip. However, he perished at sea once he encountered some sort of manifestation of Galore, the Aboleth. And so I was trapped down here until somebody worthy proved themselves to open the vault. And I've thought about this many, many times, and I didn't quite know how I would handle it if you turned out to be fiends or scoundrels or thieves or murderers. There were many times when I thought, what would I do if you turned out to be bad people? But I'm so glad that you have proved yourself innocent of heart and mind.
we're definitely not the baddies.
I think Gareth like leans up. He's like lying on the ground. You know what? We are thieves, but we're willing to die for the cause. Please let us have some of the money.
As to the contents of Lord Neverember's vault, it was promised to his heir. Ranear was his son, his living son, who I now remember has done quite a bit of work to kill off the sort of lesser branches of the Neverember name. But the main claim, rival to Ranear's own, was Floon. And actually, he looks, and lying on the cobblestones close to the door, sort of crumpled in a heap, is a familiar red-headed figure that's not Ranear Neverember, but it is Floon, who is lying still in a heap. And this gold dragon sort of like flicks it, kind of like a bean across a table, and like you hear like bones
He
break.
flicked the bean. Did he flick the bean, Alex? Sorry, go ahead.
So he flicks this clitoris across the floor.
Clit stupid.
Clit stupid!
This is the worst day of my life.
You died and came back to Clit Stupid.
Oh my god, Clit stupid is so good.
That's gonna be the name of my D&D OnlyFans.
All right, this bit's done. We're moving on.
Hey, go with it. Never mind. Okay.
putting an end to this bit.
Okay. This gold dragon says, now that every branch of the Neverember name has been exterminated, I suppose this gold belongs to anyone. So perhaps we could make a bargain.
I think before the dragon even finished, like he said anyone, and Gareth was just like,
scooping coins.
yeah, handfuls into his pocket. Constance is also helping.
I think Constance jumps out of your pocket and starts like taking one tiny gold coin at a time and like putting it in your pocket.
Like dragging it with his teeth, but like really slowly because it's like the same size as him.
The dragon says, I have no purpose for the gold coins. However, should you deem it an acceptable compromise, I would take the raw gemstones. I find them very pretty and shiny, and I want them.
Gareth is gonna look at the gemstones and take 1 ruby and request that.
Give it to me. Give it to me in character, Gareth.
Okay, so he takes out. I think I picture it as a nice cut ruby rather than the raw mineral, and goes, I would request but this from the treasure chest of the gems to commemorate the loss of a bartender and the gain of treasure.
Roll me a persuasion check. Arnold, do you want to help? And you want to let Gareth do it by himself?
I can't give bardic inspiration, but yeah, I'll also say, yeah, we really did lose several friends today, and it would mean a lot if we could, just have that 1 ruby. And I'll also try my best to persuade.
Oh, and also all the gold coins in here, but we're not talking about that right now.
All right,
Yeah, he didn't care about those.
Garion, take advantage. Roll a d20 at twice. Take the higher of the 2.
Okay, first roll is a 6 plus 2 is 8.
That's bad.
Second one is on the floor. Third one is a 10 plus 2 is 12. Against a dragon, that's pretty good.
I got a 25.
All right. With the power of friendship, I will take both rolls into account.
Also, I did just die.
Shut up. I don't give a fuck about that. This gold dragon's regards you austerely, Gareth, and slowly says, this is an acceptable bargain with a single condition, and that is, if should you take this ruby from my pile, I find that acceptable. However, young man, you are not to sell this ruby or profit from this ruby or exchange this ruby for any gain that might befall you. This ruby is tied to your soul.
It's a curse. Do not take it.
Don't take it, man.
As a memento of this moment. Or you can take the raw cash money.
Whoa. Or
No. It's not an and or.
okay.
You can take the ruby, but you can't exchange it ever or give it away or sell it.
I didn't plan to anyway. I was gonna have it like embedded in the front door of something.
All right, so then let's do that. Let's do that about below table.
Okay. I would never dream of selling such a beautifully cut and sentimental gem. Of course, that is what all the rest of these boobies are for. I'm sure they will fund a new start for us that may not be in this town. I'm a little sick of the water stench in Waterdeep. But may this fund our travels, and may you be free from your binds to this stinky vault.
I was hoping to ask a favor, and I don't know if you can do this, but you just brought someone back from the dead. So I don't care about the gems. Honestly, I don't even care that much about the treasure. I came on this little adventure for my own reasons, but can you turn Tim back?
This is an excellent question. And actually, Mel, you turn to see Tim watching this exchange
with all 3 of his eyes.
He's desperate for an answer for this. He's watching every word go between you and this massive gold dragon. And this dragon looks at you and says, I can reach across the veil once more. Once more is within my power. And I can save one more soul from that river. Whether it is this one, and he gestures at Tim, who gasps even as this finger, or this talon, this massive dragon talon is extended to him. He gasps with hope. And then the gold dragon turns to the 2 redheads on the floor and says, or one of these.
Tim, we don't give a fuck about the redheads.
Tim,
What?
the redheads
No
were,
offense,
the redheads
your
were adults,
scaliness,
and they made
but
their decisions. And
what possibly gave you the impression we would even think about saving one of those 2 assholes?
Okay, really, really quick. I want Mel to do it. Because Garion, you had your moment, and that's great, but like this is the best role playing that Dianna has done all campaign.
it just took me to the last episode, but
I'm incandescent with pride and excitedness right now. So, not to detract from Garion, but Dianna, take it away.
They're adults, and they made their decisions, and they can face the consequences for those decisions, as all of us have to do. But Tim is a child, and they took advantage of him, and he deserves to have a life with his brother, and to grow up with his brother, and be whatever it is he wants to be. So please save Tim.
There's a shifting of this massive figure, and I can't overstate how big this dragon is. He fills the room in a way that makes this massive vault feel claustrophobic, but his tail turns like a serpent's as he shifts his shoulders and extends his wings and fully looks at this, again, adult beholder, which in a normal scenario is a big, scary motherfucker, but in the face of a full-grown gold dragon looks fairly timid, pun intended. And this gold dragon holds out a hand, holds out a whole palm. He crashes it on the gold and gems, sends them scattering in a cloud, and Tim gently floats onto this extended paw. And this gold dragon lifts Tim to his face, and he says, "You are being given a second chance here, young man. A second chance at memory and family and home."
Oh, that's the thing that we talked about. I'm paying attention.
Just set you on fire.
I wanted to show that I was paying attention to the story and the symbolism.
He gonna leave you dead next time.
You're never coming back from that veil, bro. This gold dragon says, and he's being given a second chance at all these things, "I cannot tell you how to live your life or spend this extra chance that you're given, but I hope for your sake and for these fine folks' sake that you make it a good life." And there is a wash of gentle yellow light that extends from this paw and fills the whole vault. And even Gareth, with your sunglasses, you're a little dazzled by this light. You're not quite blinded, because fuck me, I guess, but
Just a bit dazzled.
you're dazzled by this light. And when the light recedes, standing in the outstretched palm of this gold dragon is an 8-year-old kid with long hair and rumpled clothing. He stares up at this gold dragon with wide eyes and says, I'll be really good this time. I got really good friends." And he looks down at you, Gareth, and Mel, and Arnold, and Josh Pat, and Constance. and he says, I'll be really good this time. I promise.
Gareth leans over to Arnold. So he like killed me, right?
Only a
Only a
little.
little for a moment.
Like, suck it up, you fucking baby. There's a moment going on here.
He did
I'm just-
also help us. Just
double checking. He like fully
full on killed you. Yes, he did.
murdered
Yeah,
me. Just
you
double
can tell me
checking.
We'll
all
keep that in
about
mind.
it later because I'm like so curious. But
Okay, it
there's
was
a
So no,
moment
that's why we
here.
turned him into a kid. He's so much easier to get revenge on now. Like infinitely
What the
easier.
fuck is wrong with you,
I'm
people?
just gonna bully him at school.
Okay, so we all have this goal, right? Did I ever get my signed instrument back from that child who said he needed a bunch of money from me in order to get that signed instrument back? Can I smash cut to me knocking on his door and him opening? You know?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. Okay, here, let's do this. Let's do this. In the wake of campaign 1, which we have just finished, let's do one smash cut per character.
There.
Something unresolved that you want to tidy up at the end of this campaign. So, smash cut, Garion.
So Gareth tracks down Jess apostrophe to where she's hanging out,
Yes.
and I assume some sort of like tavern or something.
Okay.
Gareth,
Let's say she's mid heist. Let's say you actually catch her on the roof as she's about to break into some nobleman's mansion.
no, I want to catch her like chilling out.
Okay. Yeah. So tavern just post heist.
Hell yeah. So she was missing something during her last heist. She couldn't find any of her calling cards.
Okay.
So Gareth approaches with a big sack of money, going, Jess, out of the generosity of my own heart and the biggest heist anybody in this town will ever even dream of, I'm cutting you a small cut so this way you can live off this and never have to bother stealing anything again because you're just quite not cut out for it. And then I throw down just one of her calling cards and go, like, I'm keeping these because they're in poor taste.
And then do you just like drop a bag of money on the table?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's really heavy, so it like knocks the drink over.
You know what I see? I see her looking at you in abject shock as you drop this one business card, her own business card. I like to think of it as the first one that she ever threw back at the Gralhund Manor when we first found Jess. Like you kept it and it's folded and battered and beaten as shit. And you drop that on the table and then you drop this sack of gold coins that explodes and like spills over the table.
Oh, so
And then-
everybody else in the bar starts scrambling for it.
And then there's a mad scramble for coin, and Jessica apostrophe just watches you casually walk out the door.
Hell yeah.
Badass. Okay.
Cut
Diane.
to Mel and Arnold. What the hell did Gareth use for firewood? Are these a bunch of cards?
All right, Diana, what's your smash cut?
I kind of want to do two things.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna be walking on my way to somewhere, but I have Tim with me, and I want
Okay.
to go to the nice family that is taking care of his brother, whose name I don't remember.
That is Ramalia Haventree, leader of the
No, but what was
Harpers.
the name of his brother? I don't remember his brother's name.
Hang on, I've got my recaps right here.
Did we
That would
know it?
be, Captain Catman.
I don't know. Think
Clara,
about it.
Frank, Joseph.
Sure, Joseph. So anyway, I assume Joseph is staying with a nice family now. I assume Romalia wouldn't have kept him because why would she?
Okay, sure.
Or whatever. Anyway, he's in place. So I want to take Tim and go to and knock on the door and have like another big bag of money. And so when the parents open the door, I can hold up the money and say, "Can you take another one?" And then hopefully Tim will see Joseph, and that'll be a really cute reunion.
Yeah, I think a woman in a homespun apron with like the filling of like a pie on her hands like opens the door and she's holding up her hands so she doesn't like get anything dirty, but she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Who are you?"
You know what? That's not really important. I'm a friend of Tim's, and Tim is Joseph's brother, and I was hoping, and holds up the money, that they could be raised together. And I think that this will cover it. And then some. It's a lot of money. There's like so many boobies in this bag right now.
So many titties.
There's
You
an insane
hear-
amount of
Overflowing
breasts
with
in here.
titties.
You hear a shout from inside the house as not only Joseph, but Tilly, Joseph's youngest sister, come running down the stairs.
Wasn't it Tanya?
And they throw themselves at Tim, and there's an incredible moment between the three siblings as they're reunited. And the woman looks at this and smiles, and there are tears in her eyes, and she holds out her hands and says, of course we can take him. Of course we would be absolutely happy to. And you don't even listen, you if you'd like to keep the money, we will make it work.
Gareth
No.
snacks, jumps out of the darkness.
Yeah. Garrett jumps out of the bushes.
No, you know what? It's a lot to raise 3 kids, and you didn't have to even take the 2. So please, I want this to help. And if you need anything else, come find us and we'll help out.
I'm
and
so
then
I'm,
she-
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. You did deliberately not tell me your name. So how would I find? Do you have an address or?
Well, trolls go hard,
YouTube.com
so,
/critically stupid.
Right, exactly. Like Mel just wrote it on the back of one of Jess Apostrophe's cards that she took from Gareth. And she's like, put an X on. She's like, ignore this. This is bullshit. Okay.
Okay.
Like
We
this
just use
one-
Jess Apostrophe's
this
card as
one,
like stationary.
essentially, yes, because that's all I had to write on. So, and then I don't know. Here's my fantasy phone number. I don't know how it works.
Sure. Okay.
And then she's gonna leave and actually go to the dock to see Captain Davel Starsong.
Okay. You see Davel Starsong standing on the pier. He's directing his men to sort of like setting up one of the sails on the thrice repaired eye catcher that has been recently repaired from your latest visit. And he's he's in earnest conversations with his first mate, trying to figure out some sort of logistic aboard the ship.
Okay, so Mel's gonna kind of walk up to the pier and kind of be in his eyesight and just sort of be playing with one of the little gold coins, gold boobies, if you will, just waiting for him to finish his
Playing with some
conversation. So he
boobies.
can see. Yeah.
Sure to get any
He-
man's attention.
He sets his first mate to a task and rapidly walks up the pier and then across and over to you and says, well, this is unexpected.
We found the vault.
Did you really? And he smiles and says, of everyone racing forward, Lady Meliora, I thought you might be the one.
Yeah, well, it'll help us get back on our feet since our entire home and bar and whatnot was burned down. So we kind of have to start over. But speaking of starting over, you're low-key a garbage person, but I feel like something brought you here. And even though you tried to kill my friends quite a few times, actually, and you lied like a whole heck of a lot, for whatever reason, I am still incredibly interested in figuring out more about you. So maybe we try the date again.
Wow. And then Arnold comes out of nowhere and punches him in the face.
Arnold.
Okay, so oh god.
No. You take
Oh,
it.
so the whole campaign, I at the very beginning of this campaign, I got an instrument signed by Volo, and I was all excited about it, and I ended up giving it to a child temporarily, and
Yes.
then when I tried to retrieve it, he didn't want to give it back, and it was this whole ordeal, and I didn't have much time or the ability to get it back. So I'd like to go. I just want to knock on his door. I just want to knock on his door and just have like the biggest bag of gold in my hand.
Okay. Yes. Huge.
just a ridiculous bag of gold. And I imagine I open it. I don't know if he's gonna open it with the, like he's been practicing it the whole time. It's or I don't know what he's doing with that instrument, but go.
I got it. Okay. The door over the seediest pawn shop you've ever seen jingles merrily as you walk inside, Arnold. You have Evan Stokesworth by the collar, and you march him in front of you almost like a shield. You're looking at shelves of busted up, beaten down furniture. You're looking at counters of ancient jewelry that's not worth a goddamn dime. And then sitting behind the counter on a pedestal beneath a spotlight is your signed loot. Signed by Volo Gedarm that you got, I think, in episode 1. Yeah. And there is a greasy looking man with like a yellowed shirt counting like paper money behind the counter. And he goes, "What's up, bub? What you need?"
So I say, "That's my loot. I'd like it, please."
Oh, you talking about the loot signed by Volo Gedarm? The famous writer? Hey, bub, let me tell you this. And he eyes you up and down. You cannot afford this instrument. This is a fine piece of craftsmanship right here, okay? And that signature, that's worth a pretty penny that you can't afford.
So how far away from me is the loot itself?
I think it's like 10 feet. If you're standing at the counter, it's 10 feet back.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll try to do this normally. So I'm gonna say, yeah, how much are you thinking?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're big dogging here. You want to big dog me? All right, bub. Let's say 75 gold dragons.
So
I'm sorry.
like,
Wait. Sorry, I'm so sorry. 75 gold boobies, my friend.
Oh yeah. So
Go
as he's saying that, I cast Mage Hand, and it's already grabbing the loot, and it's coming toward me. And as Mage Hand drops the loot, toward me, I throw the bag of money at him, and I just grab it and I start playing it and just walk away. That's what I'm doing.
Hard.
Okay, now here's the question, Anthony. What is your walk away song that you play on this loot? Because this dude is standing behind you, dumbstruck. His hands are overflowing with gold coins. He's speechless. What is your victory song?
I'm probably gonna be like, "When you hear the call to adventure."
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yes!